Hey guys, welcome to another commentary done by Diggity. This is going to be a preview. So this is from BSL Season 16 Gosu League. And part of it is Gosu League graduates, because Semih was previously in Hasu League, as was Cavapoo. Both of them moved up to Gosu League. But secondarily, also this is going to be a New York LAN preview. New York LAN is coming up this Saturday. And it is going to be, then today being August 8th. It's 8/8. The Lionsgate portal for people that are concerned about, for anybody that cares, it's 8/8. Try to pay attention to such things. I wonder why they call it that. Regardless, this is going to be a preview of the games that are coming up on Saturday. Semih is going to be covered in particular. I don't know if Cava is going to be there or not, but he is also a US Zerg. Upper left-hand corner, Semih starting as the blue Protoss, by the way. Cava is going to get first scout with that Overlord. He's starting as the red Zerg, bottom left-hand corner. Pylon being dropped along the way. Semih making his way top right corner to get that first scout. Semih, a pretty decent player. If you're wondering who else is going to be there, it's basically the largest gathering of talent from North America since at least the World Cyber Games. They had LAN a while ago, which was a pretty solid lineup as well, but this is going to have a lot of those players and more. So Jaeyoon's going to be there, Striker's going to be there, Gypsy's going to be there, Artosis himself is going to be there. It's going to be streamed on his channel. Forewarned for the people that have not been exposed to Artosis's chat and channel before, just know that it is spicy. It's a spicy channel. But we'll see how Artosis plays out. If I was going to pick winners right now, ooh, Forge opener first here for Semih. If I was going to pick winners right off the top of my head, I would say Gypsy's probably the favorite to go all the way. But I could definitely see Jaeyoon, Striker, or Artosis giving him some trouble. And Raz is also around the corner. Raz actually, ironically, participated in both Gosu and the Pro League, and didn't do too shabby actually in Pro League overall. It looks like Kava going for the 12th pool now, getting scouted by Semih, and that Overlord able to sneak up and see that it was in fact a Forge first opener. Let's see if that causes him to be a little bit more greedy and play and go for a third hatch start or not. He hasn't dropped that geyser, so it looks like he is thinking about potentially going more towards that 3 hatch opener. We'll have to see on the next few drones or not, but usually if you're going for that rapid 2 hatch opener, you want to have that gas down as quickly as possible. But right the moment, just droning up and feeling somewhat safe interior to the base. Some probes lined up to blockade just in case, getting that gateway down. Same thing opposite side. Semih got the information, knows he doesn't need to plop down a cannon, and go ahead and go Nexus first against the 12th hatchery. With the spawning pool placement, I actually don't know that it boosts the efficiency of the drones overall. Gas now being grabbed after the 3rd hatchery here at the 6 o'clock location. Overlord going for another flight pattern mid-map to maybe spot Zealots as they're able to fly out on the map. And the first photon cannon is being produced. Do we have some Zerglings? It looks like we do have at least 4 Zerglings that are going to be fielded as that gas comes online. I think Semih got a good eyeful, so knows the gas timing and knows relatively what he's up against. Has dropped in a simulator himself. Nexus is coming online. Let's see how if he gets a decent probe transfer or not. I think this is usually the moment when you want to start moving the probes that direction. He's moved one. He's got one rallied this direction, but hasn't sent the others. And actually, he's pulling that one off. Interestingly enough, no Zealots out in the field. The Zerglings look like that front Zergling has managed to get a kill. So this probe actually pulling off the lines, wants to try to keep information out there, especially because 973 follow-ups are a thing. But we are seeing a tech delay right here. So it looks like it is instead potentially going to be 3 hatch Mutalisk, maybe a fold over to 4 hatch. Nexus online, we do see Cybernetics core warping in, but otherwise Semih basically in the dark so he sees the 3rd hatchery at the 6 o'clock, sees a lack of drone saturation, so at least is able to confirm the location. Zealot moving out, but there's a good amount of Zerglings out in the field that haven't been spotted, and if Cava was on top of it, actually it looks like he wasn't, Semih able to sneak that Zealot across the lower lines. This leaves the front door very vulnerable though. The Zealot's going to pop out, and the Zerglings might be able to shoot the line, get that cannon before, yeah, able to sneak all the way up into the main, and that is going to be a big headache. Probe's not able to pull, but Zealot's moving out, might be able to get some disruption. It looks like some additional Zerglings have been produced. Try to keep an eye here out on the front. There's the starport being dropped, so Semih has a good eye of that timing as well. And the Zealot able to get a few kills, but not able to get a lot else. And the gas getting disrupted, which is huge. That's going to delay those Corsairs, which is going to affect air control. Looks like we are, in fact, seeing a Spire being dropped in that back corner, so it's going to be a Mutalisk opener. So every little bit of gas is very, very important. That Zergling speed also about to kick in for Cava, which is going to make these Zerglings even more frustrating to try to evict on the high ground. Right now, going to be able to potentially get a Zealot kill. The Zealot trying to retreat, the Probe getting wiped out, so additional kills right there. Cava actually has an extremely healthy economy behind all this. With that Zealot weakened, is going to be able to once again disrupt that gas. And that's going to slow down the flow of those higher tech units, specifically potentially Corsairs, to follow this up. And we'll see if Cava plays extra aggressive against Semih. And that Zealot has taken massive amounts of damage in the main, is now amongst the probe line, getting a little bit of blockade to help, but that's only going to be a single... Oh, a Dragoon actually was produced in between helping with this. But this is going to be very little anti-air, as that Spire is not that far from completing. Still no second Corsair, and honestly, I would expect a cannon or two in defense from Semih. He's going to need it. Some additional probes getting wiped out, and Semih's economy has just been obliterated, honestly. He's sitting at the 21 probe mark. This is not looking great for him. Going up against the 31. Opposite side, the Corsair able to confirm that it is Spire. It looks like it's going to be folded back to 4 hatch. Cava, honestly, if he wanted to just produce Mutalisk, might have been able to overwhelm Semih right here. And let's see if he gets some pylons down, gets some preventative cannons, finally able to deal with the Zerglings with that Dragoon help. Corsair, at the very least, going to be able to get an Overlord kill here on the front. Is that a Scourge spot? Now, the Scourge at a different location. As a result, looks like there's going to get some bonus Overlord. Well, there they are. Going to get a bonus Overlord kill? Not quite. Corsair wiped out the natural expansion. Second gas being dropped, and that's going to... That plus the 33 drone count and a lot of hatcheries in that Evolute 3 gas. Semih's got to get some damage done here because Cava's economy is just a little bit too strong. He's very weak right this second, though, because the Zerglings have been cleaned up. And he's got absolutely nothing in the form of a defense force. He's got some Scourge to scout and has not saved a lot of Larva to provide some additional defense. So these Zealots and this Dragoon should be able to get a lot of drone kills and some amazing economic disruption. Otherwise, might even want to turn around, just straight go for that Hydralisk Den. Dragoon currently working on that Hydra Den. Zealots making their way up to the main. Looks like some Hydralisks have spawned to try to get some disruption, but one drone down. Cava with a pretty solid defense overall, but this is a complete lack of mining at his natural expansion in the meantime. Zealots doing what they can. Some Hydralisks starting to move out. One problem for the turnaround is still with the healthy drone count, this is a possible situation where the Hydralisks might be able to go for a nice surround and contain on Semih and make it difficult to get out of the main. It looks like an Overlord taking some damage out in the front as that Dragoon retreated, didn't want to get taken out. But with that Overlord gone and no additional detection out on the field, that Dark Templar could be a big threat, especially defensively. No additional Corsair have been produced, and there's still no cannons out in the main. Looks like Sidestorm just about halfway finished, only 2 gateways down to support that initial gateway construction. So troops are going to be somewhat light, and Semih also has to do some work. He was able to get some economic disruption down, but Cava already at the 41 drone count. +1 weapons. Maybe this DT can get something done here. At the 6 o'clock, we have a defensive Overlord, but not a lot of defense troops otherwise. Might be able to get some additional damage. Is this 6 hatcheries? So we got, yeah, 6 hatcheries overall. So it's looking like kind of a 6-hatch Mutalisk play. The Hydra's right in the nick of time there for Cava. Gonna pull back. And now Semih, I'm a little concerned. He's going to have some Sidestorm to work with. Going for a Dark Archon summon to maybe negate counter Archon or counter Mutalisk play. Does have some Sidestorm to work with, but he doesn't have a massive troop count. Cava's actually in the supply lead overall. Has +1 Carapace, which means those Mutalisks are actually going to be fairly strong, and that could be an opportunity to go for a Mut account. He does have the 3 gas again to work with, so he can stack that gas and go for tech switches fairly easily. 5 Mutalisks making their way up. Still no cannons here in the main. Does the Dark Templar have Maelstrom researched? No, Maelstrom's still researching. So these Mutalisk, again with no cannon support, able to just get some additional damage done and hurt Semih's already weakened economy in comparison to Cava. The High Templar trying to move up, wants to see if he can get a Sidestorm, but Sidestorming over your probe line isn't exactly the shot you want to hit. And also with these High Templar, you really want to get more bonus units out of it. The High Templar, so Maelstrom just about to finish, the Dark Archon moving up, revealing itself. Is that going to cause the Mutalisk to pull out? Completely emptied the natural expansion in the meantime. Great play from Cava thus far. He's in strong. He's got double the worker count. Working on lurker tech in a very nice defensive position. It looks like a Dark Templar just checking bottom right. Cava could expand if he wants to. Some Hydralisks moving out. Has he gotten the Overlord? I'm not sure if he got the Overlord speed upgrade or not. I don't see the Overlord moving to check whether that's the case. Looks like yes, in fact, he did. So now I don't know that Semih's going to be able to break out. He's got some High Templar to work with, but he's going to need some brilliant Psy Storms to deal with this Hydralisk threat on his front. Cava scooting up. The Maelstrom in combination with the Psy Storm could be devastating, but it's got to be pitch perfect. Looks like a drone making its way bottom right. That Dark Templar in hot pursuit to at least buy some time that direction and create some disruption. The Mulisks are still active, keep in mind, and still very capable of picking off the High Templar should they draw out. So Semih has a very damaged economy, is sealed in, is down on supply, and Cava is just looking in firm control of this all the way around. Hydra's working on that forward gateway. Psystorm expended, not getting a lot, some nice dodges, and it looks like these are also going to be morphed to Lurkers. And the Lurkers also going to start taking position out on the front, and I don't know how far behind that is. The robotics even started? The robotics just started. So Semih in a heap of trouble. Let's see if he makes his way bottom right to go ahead and clean up that Dark Templar, but he can expand wherever he wants and maybe even, yeah, take shots at the front, which is what he's doing right now with those Hydralisks. Forge, so we do have +1 weapons, +1 armor, so decent upgrades for Semih, but he's still just down a massive amount of supply and behind on that tech curve with that robotics facility not yet in play. So Cava, I mean, the fortunate grace here is that Cava's not continuing to tech up, nor is he continuing to expand. It looks like he's just going, maybe over-investing in this seal. So there's at least that. So, but the secondary problem is even with the over-investment in the seal, Semih's going to need that much more to be able to press out. This is looking very, very scary. And that last cannon getting picked off. Ooh, some Hydros taking some damage. Cava being a little bit over-aggressive potentially. He just needs to sit back and starve Semih out, and he should be A-okay. Still hasn't grabbed any additional expansions. Continue to just reinforce. He's actually up now 50 supply towards the front. I don't know when Semih's going to make his move. He's tossing on some additional gateways, producing a lot of Dragoons up on the high ground. Is certainly going to need to wait for the Observer. It looks like a Dragoon kind of popping out on the corner. We have some Scourge right there that could easily pop that first Observer as well, keep in mind. And this is a sizable wall out in the front. Ooh, more Psystorm getting dropped, softening up those forward Lurkers, but there's still just plenty of Lurkers and plenty of Hydralisks to back up the rear corner. Cava just sneaking in, trying to get some infrastructure damage and sneaking right back out, keeping an eye on the lines otherwise. Scourge also just making sure on that corner that no dropship shuttle was able to sneak its way through the lines. And the other thing is, honestly, if there's another tech switch to Mutalisk, this base would be completely breached, I think. There would be a lot of dead High Templar, and yeah, see, they're still going to be able to pick at the lines. You do have that Dark Archon with full health. Maybe some magic Maelstroms could turn the tide, but I seriously doubt it. Dark Templar in patrol bottom right. Cava is now expanding to a fourth base on the corner. He already had a solid economic position, but that's just absolutely going to cap it. And now, honestly, it's will Semih be able to have a magic maneuver and be able to press through? Look at this bulk of red that is outside his front. Not looking good, I gotta say. Especially with the Mutalisks along the edge. Cava's got everything in his corner. Observer's gonna sidle out. Let's see if it's gonna also manage to stay alive. Mutalisk pecking away at that corner. There's the Maelstrom and the Psystorm, gonna be able to clear them out at the very least. So small wins. Dragoons fanning out on the front, drawing some Hydralisks forward. They have +2 weapons now. Bit of an empty Psystorm to follow. Cava needs to... He's blind Psystorming right now, and he really needs to save those for better groupings. An Observer gets picked off, which is going to let that Lurker line hold until the next Observer's out. And man, the Dragoon line just melting. Now some Psystorms getting some fields, but look at just the Dragoon blood on the forward field. Cava still with the 40 supply lead. And the Lurker line still holds. Now some follow-up Psystorm trying to hit and peel out. Semih needs to get forward and clear the front. He's got pitifully few Dragoons, however, to range. Sidestorm will do the job as well. Still, there's 4 lurkers remaining and plenty of Hydralisks to peel in. Nice little observer dodge to get out of the Sidestorm. More lurkers being morphed as well. No saturation at the 4th as of yet, but Cava still honestly doesn't need it as that option. Lurker gonna go ahead, sneak right back out. Semih now making maneuvers to try to bust out. Observer picked off yet again. Beautiful discipline on Cava's part to go ahead and pick those off in the middle of the fight. Good Sidestorm right there from Semih. Obliterating some good Hydralisk lines, but this is still too much. Cava is just overwhelming. There's the nice Maelstrom. Beautiful sound effect out of it as well. But gonna press Semih right back into his base. And honestly, I think that might be GG for Semih as soon as he loses this army, because he's gonna get overwhelmed regardless. Doesn't have a lot of Sidestorm to defend. Cava doesn't even need to base breach right here. He can just sit back, clear out the front. Now he's moving the lurkers forward. Yeah, do it. Yeah, there's GG. Middle of the fart. Good game overall. I'm just grabbing these replays at random, so I'm not sure that they're going to be the best. The best indicators of skill overall, but regardless, I hope you guys enjoyed them. Sva sent me a replay. We're going to do him next. Hope you guys enjoyed it. And again, check out all of the shenanigans that'll be there this Saturday. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Thanks for listening.